The last couple on Earth finds a girl. Oh yeah. We see a handsome man looking at a handsome woman on the busy New York streets. No, it's not an antidepressant ad. These are the dreams of Jack Harper, who volunteered for memory removal. I wish I could do this every time I lose a Fortnite match. Then I'll have no memories left, which is awesome. So it's 2077 and Jack Harper is a drone technician living in a tower high above the clouds. He's living with his assigned partner, Victoria. Good score, but an easy one. They are the last people left on Earth after all. Yeah, that would be my only way to score too. The Earth was destroyed by aliens known as the Scavengers, who wanted Earth's resources. Spoiler, it was Bill Gates, Elon Musk, and Stephen Hawking. Yep, he's still alive. The Scavs destroyed Earth's moon, causing natural disasters and global devastation, then invaded it. Humans were forced to use nuclear weapons. Well, at least they won, but destroyed the Earth in the process. Wait, is this a World War III documentary? Now, most of the Earth is a radioactive wasteland, while the remaining human population has moved to Titan, one of the moons of Saturn. A selected number inhabits a giant spaceship in orbit around Earth called the Tet. Huge machines are drawing up seawater to suck energy for humanity's new home. Jack's job is to scout the surface during the day and repair the drones. These are spherical, flying robots created to detect and terminate remaining scabs on Earth. Meanwhile, Victoria must stay inside the tower to watch him as his coordinator. She gets mission objectives from Sally, the mission commander on the Tet. That sounds like pretty hard work for 2 people. Well, at least the job will be finished in 2 weeks. Another day, another dirty job. 2 drones are down, so Jack flies to repair them. While Victoria successfully coordinates the mission with Titan, the poor man gets a lightning strike in his flying ship, and it looks like the movie will end before it has started. Oh no, he's back. Phew, that would have been a short video. Jack finds a drone on what was the Super Bowl stadium and repairs drone number 166. Jack shares with Victoria what he read about the last Super Bowl game in 2017. He encounters a dog and spooks it away before drone number 166 fully recovers. Lucky one, the pup was almost killed. The aliens that were hiding all that time in the stadium have retreated. Uh-oh, someone is being watched. Meanwhile, Jack feels moody about leaving the Earth soon. He's a conservative and loves hanging around what was his home before the massive Chernobyl. Victoria here doesn't care. There are no shopping malls left on Earth. Jack takes his bike and searches for the last drone on foot, and he finds it in a sinkhole. Dangerous. While Jack goes in, aliens watch him from a distance. Now it's perilous. Jack goes inside what was the New York Public Library back in the good old days. He loses contact with Victoria, but found the drone. Oops, it's a trap. Jack gets attacked by scabs, but using his skills and pure luck, manages to escape. Not back in the library. With no gun left, Jack takes his pistol out and gets ready to get penetrated. But look who's that. Number 166 gets here right on time to save his human butt, destroying all the aliens. Jack gets out, managing to grab a random book before leaving the library. Don't forget to return it in a month. The book is full of poetry, something about Horatius. Darn, bad luck. I was hoping for Rich Dad, Poor Dad. Jack returns to the tower and gives Victoria a flower he found. Thanks, Jack. I'll throw it away now. Moody. Actually, she did it because there were some regulations, and they were only 2 weeks away from completing their mission. She doesn't want to touch toxic plants. Nah, she's just mad at you because you didn't close the cap on the toothpaste this morning. Classic woman moment. During the dinner, Jack shares his thoughts about aliens. It seems they weren't trying to kill him, but rather catch him, then clap him, or kill, possibly. But our boy is tired of Victoria being the only woman on Earth, so deep down, he probably wants it. Victoria fights for her man by having a sussy swim in the pool. It's a good attempt, but Jack keeps getting flashbacks of a mysterious girl he knew before the war. But no time for dreaming. A huge mushroom explosion is up on the horizon. Did the friendly CSGO players finally decide to strike us? Nah, just a water machine that exploded. Jack gets a beacon signal from the bombed out Empire State Building and goes there to investigate. They discover the signal's coded coordinates of nothing particular. Jack believes it's the work of scavs and cuts it. He then tells Victoria that he'll do some perimeter checks around the border where the radiation zone meets the safe area. Oh yeah, classic perimeter check. Dad used to do those too for years. Then I found out I got a brother named Juanito in Mexico. Jack visits his secret house by a lake in a lush green valley hidden away from view. Now I see why he doesn't want to go to Titan. He falls asleep chilling on the grass and awakens to see objects parachuted down from the sky. They crash land right on the coordinates from the transmission he saw before. He flies to investigate, although Victoria and the commander ordered him not to. He finds humans in Delta sleep pods scattered around the wreck, and one of them is the girl from his dreams. Look who's here, Mr. 166. He arrives and begins destroying all of the pods. Defend, not destroy. Guess they don't follow Asimov's rules. However, Jack manages to save a pod with his dream girl by acting as a shield, since 166 is programmed not to terminate him. The aliens watch from a distance. Jack takes the pod back to the tower where Victoria manages to wake the woman from deep sleep. The girl wakes up, vomits, calls Jack by his name, and falls asleep. And that's what my last club visit looked like. We find out the girl's name is Julia, and she's been sleeping for 60 years now, so she fell asleep before the war. Well, rise and shine, sleepy bird. The world is destroyed. Reminds me of when Jared Leto took a no-internet trip to the desert and came back to find the world in lockdown. Imagine his face. This actually happened, by the way. Anyway, Victoria is not happy at all. She smells competition. What can I say? When there are only 2 women on Earth, competition is indeed intense. Jack reveals he remembers Julia. Bad idea, you're only escalating the situation. They go to sleep, but Jack feels an itchy feeling somewhere and goes up to Julia. The girl says she needs to get to the ship, so Jack follows her orders like a pup, without telling Victoria. Oh, she's furious. After they receive the data recorder, Jack realizes they're surrounded by scavs. Too late. Boom. Unconscious. He sends the aircraft back to the tower tower just before passing out. When reporting to Tet, Victoria requests a drone scout in the missing area without actually saying what happened. Smart move. Maybe. Or maybe the call for backup would be a smarter one. Jack wakes up, tied to a chair. Suddenly, Morgan Freeman reveals himself and starts a monologue about the Earth, cosmos, black holes. Nah, just joking. He just reveals that the scavs are not aliens but humans, and drones are programmed to kill the remaining humans, not aliens. So humans have to wear alien costumes and imitate their voices to confuse the drones. And guess the worst news. The real aliens are inside the Tet. Shocker. The leader of the scav is actually the leader of the human resistance named Beach, and he needs Jack's help. That's a very unfortunate name, by the way. They have a stolen drone and 10 power cells from other drones they have brought down. They also scavenged the weapons-grade plutonium power cores from the wrecked ships, like the one Julia was on. Humans turned the stolen drone into a nuclear bomb, and now they hope to destroy the Tet with it. As a skilled drone technician, they hope for Jack's help to reprogram the drone. Great story, bro, but Jack still has doubts and thinks there are humans on Tet. Well, too bad. The not aliens aren't that patient, so they bring Julia and aim a gun at her. They almost shoot when the drone searching for Jack arrives. With problems, humans manage to take them down. Then, Beach releases Jack and Julia, saying that he will find the truth in the forbidden radiation zone. The two ride Jack's motorbike, but it runs out of fuel, so they hike to the Empire State Building, where Jack manages to signal to Victoria. She sends the aircraft to pick them up. While they're both waiting, Jack asks Julia who she is. Oh, you'll love it. Turns out they were both from the spacecraft Odyssey, and she is his real wife. Julia tells how they were standing together on this balcony when Jack proposed to her, and he clearly remembers it. They hug just as the aircraft arrives. Oh, Victoria sees it all. Jack and Julia fly to the tower, asking Jack not to report to Tet before arriving. What would an upset and jealous Victoria do? Of course, she messages Sally saying she and Jack are no longer an effect. This works like some kind of a command. Suddenly, the damaged drone that Jack had kept in the tower for repairs activates to terminate the failed maintenance team. What have you done, woman? Well, Jack could have been more gentle too. He tries to explain everything to Victoria, but it's too late. Vaporized. Jack is the next to get clapped, but his wife shoots the drone with the aircraft gun. Sally tries to reason with Jack, but he now doesn't fall for the alien tricks and flies away with Julia. Their life of freedom ends soon. They get chased by 3 other drones. Mr. 166, we've been such good friends. The chase has them flying through a lightning storm and into a canyon. Using human tricks, Jack manages to destroy 2 of them. However, Mr. 166 and them crash into a sandy desert in the radiation zone. Jack realizes he's not boiling alive and doesn't have a 3rd leg growing out of him. Well, except for the one he's already used to. So the radiation zone is a bluff. Let's go to Chernobyl now. He also hears the beep of a broken drone just over the next sand dune. When he gets there, Jack witnesses another technician in an identical aircraft land to fix the drone. So there's another guy in here? I thought there were only 2 people left on the planet. Jack confronts the technician. Wait a second, that's another Jack. Identical. The clone gets distracted by Julia and the 2 Jacks get in a fight. Too late. Julia gets shot in the stomach. Jack defeats the clone and deactivates the drone right on time. Jack uses Clone 52's plane to go to 52's tower. Oh, look who's there. Victoria. He is stunned, but tricks Victoria into believing that he is her Jack. Jack saves Julia and gets her to the lake house. The last thing needed for a perfect picture is here. So we can chill and enjoy life now, right? No. Nah, Jack is a real man. After a good clap, he gets bored and goes on a saving the world adventure. Meanwhile, Sally sends another 3 drones after Jack. While Jack works on the drone, Beach tells the story of how he survived those 60 years after the war. Well, not everyone had a good sleep and memory elimination. Sometimes I wish I would. So, the drone gets programmed to fly into Tet with nuclear bombs inside. Humans are ready to send it, but oops, 3 drones arrive and attack the humans. Their timings are always the best, or the worst, depending on whose side you're on. I'm Team Alien. They managed to kill the drone, but with huge losses. Most people are clapped, Beach is mortally wounded, and the worst news, the captured drone is no longer functional. The fuel cells remain intact though, so the team decides the only way they can still send a nuclear Trojan horse is by hiding it in a Delta sleep pod with Julia and making Jack bring it to the Tet. Self-delete mission? Hold my beer, says Jack, and goes for it. On the way to the Tet, Jack listens to the data recorder recovered from the Odyssey. He hears himself as the Odyssey pilot approaching the Tet in 2017 First Contact, the day after the superb Super Bowl. Victoria is the co-pilot, and Julia is one of the crew members. They were being guided by the real Sally, a NASA lady. The memory gets interrupted by alien Sally, who asks why Jack is approaching the Tet. He plays along, saying he's delivering Julia as ordered. Works like a charm. We get a flashback again. The Odyssey began to accelerate uncontrollably towards the Tet. To save the crew and Julia, Jack released the back shuttle with the Delta sleep pods, so only he and Victoria headed towards the Tet. Back in the present, Jack is allowed to enter the Tet. The alien Sally is suspicious and questions Jack's motives for coming. It smells his lies and nearly destroys him, so Jack truthfully says he wants the human race to survive. Well, that ain't lies, right? Jack is allowed to proceed further inside to deliver Julia. We see a multitude of clones of himself and Victoria growing in pods. Jack opens the Delta sleep pod in the alien's presence, a large floating pyramid object with a red laser eye in the center. And look who's there, Morgan Freeman. Realizing this is a trap, the aliens summon drones to destroy them, but Jack and Beach detonate the fuel cells. Julia wakes up by the lake house and witnesses the tent explode spectacularly in the sky and weeps. A beautiful way to save the world. 3 years later, Julia has a daughter and is living in the lake house. She and the daughter then see members of the human resistance. A figure then walks out of the crowd. Jack Harper 52. Moral of the story? Tom Cruise.